What is up, my boners? This is MrITryHard here, that nastiest commentator in all of motherfucking YouTube. How you guys been doing? I've been doing motherfucking fantastic, and today we have a nuclear gameplay, which means I get 30 gun kills without dying, using the hammer on domination on the map Hijacked. Hope you enjoy. The first, 3 minutes of this gameplay is me derping and dying a lot, and then I just go fucking nuclear and go ham. Hope you enjoy. Now, I was gonna do a video about my road to weight loss, because if you guys don't know, if you guys aren't aware, I lost like 60 pounds in the past year. I look like a fucking legend now, by the way. Girls are all over me. I can't even fight them off with a stick. It's crazy. It's like that Axe commercial. But if if you guys want to hear about how that happened and how that's changed my life, because I feel like if it's did like a lot from me, it's changed my life a whole lot. And you know, I can do that if you guys show some love on today's video. Now, today I actually asked on Twitter for some topics, and somebody asked me to talk about my first breakup, like the first time. Like, I broke up with my high school sweetheart, or how she broke up with me, that whole story, that whole deal, which is kind of interesting because I'm not, like, I have these, like, high highs and these low lows. I mention this all the time, and this translates a lot to my relationships in my life. So this breakup is probably not, like, you know, what everybody is used to. So, I'll go ahead and tell that story right now for you guys, and you guys always enjoy the fucking true stories. Oh, before I do, I have to say, the Road to Commander, some of you guys have been asking, where is it, where is it, where is it? It's not dead, it's just I'm having troubles fucking rendering it properly. It will be back, don't worry about it. Probably tomorrow, actually. So, here we go. My first sweetheart, high school sweetheart, don't want to say her name, don't want you motherfuckers stalking her, but, I started dating her, like, she was my first serious relationship. She was the girl I lost my virginity to, she was the girl I was through high school with, the girl I did everything for the first time with, like, she was that girl. And, I think I was with her for, what, like, 3 years, the better part of 3 years, and, we had a lot of great moments, a lot of good times, a lot of fun was had, it was great. And she was one of those, you know, she only had guy friends type of girl. You all have that, right? There's always that girl who hangs around with all the guys, and she's all cool, and usually she plays sports, and, you know, maybe she plays video games and whatnot, and those are always super attractive chicks. Fucking awesome. She was great. Like, I just fucking loved the fuck out of her. It was awesome. And she would always hang out with her ex. She had a long-term relationship. A bit before me, and that lasted, I think, a year or two, and that guy's name was Brian. Fuck Brian, by the way. hated that douchebag. But anyway, like, he was still in the picture because she lived in like a really, really small like town of like 500 people, and I lived like an hour and a half away, so I only saw her during school. And then when college came around, you know, it made us really, really like having a hard time seeing each other. And, you know, on weekends, obviously, she'd be on her own, and so would I, because I lived so far away, and then I got a car, I started driving to her place and whatnot every weekend, or she'd come, I'd go pick her up and go back to mine. I was really dedicated to seeing her, it was great. And, I don't really know how, or, I mean, why we broke up. I guess it was probably, because here's the thing about relationships, like, the first sign that a relationship goes badly is when you begin to lack of sex. Like, that was the worst phrasing of all time. But when sex starts lacking, or when there becomes a lack of want to have sex, then that's when relationships go down the drain. It's like the beginning of the end. It just starts to suck real bad, and that's what kind of happened for us. Like, he wasn't really into it as much, and I probably should have seen it coming. Being more mature now and having hindsight, you know, it was pretty obvious that, you know, this was coming. But back then, in the time, I was just in love, and I was just like, yeah, I love this chick, she's awesome, you know, want to marry her, have kids. I was having all these dreams, and I did everything, and I fell victim to the whole she had a lot of guy friends thing, and that was something I never really enjoyed, and I feel like a lot of guys can relate to that. It was really hard for me to understand why she needed to hang around with, you know, 15 other dudes. It was hard, and it was devastating for me to have her hang out with a bunch of guys who I clearly saw, because I'm a people watcher. That's what I do a lot in real life. I'll just sit there and watch people and watch how they act and watch how they do certain things and stuff, and sometimes I can read what people do pretty well. Like, I think I'm pretty decent at it. And guys, whenever they have lady friends, they always flirt like that. It's like, especially if she's a cute friend. And then this chick was fucking hot, so like they would always flirt with her. And usually the girls, how girls see it is they just see it as, oh, friendly chitter jatter. When a guy is just like, I would bone you the second you say yes, but they'll just keep that distance because like they know they have a boyfriend, which is me in that situation. And that sucked because I would see that and I would realize that, and I would get angry at those guys. I wouldn't like pursue it and like tell them to fuck off or beat them up or anything, but I would, I would try to explain that to her and she wouldn't understand and she'd think I'd just get jealous, and it was a terrible fucking cycle. And eventually I guess she just got tired of it and she was like, alright, it's time to end it with MrITryHard. My name was Matthew back then before I got rebaptized. Kidding. But it happened over the phone. It just like over the fucking phone, and like we didn't have, text messaging wasn't all that cool back then. No, not all of us had cell phones, so, we would talk every night for, like, an hour or something and just talk about whatever and nothing, what couples do. It's just fucking ridiculous. But, anyhow, she called me up and, we were having this small argument and about whatnot, whatever. But whenever those arguments happened, I would always ask her, or tell her, I love you, and then she would say it back. I feel like like if saying I love you during an argument helps keep that relationship there, even though at that point you hate that person, right? You hate them with a passion and with a fire, but you still love them in the end, right? So I feel like that needs to be said. So anyways, I'd tell her, I love you, and usually she would say it back, but then she didn't. So my next question, which I think is legitimate, was, well, don't you love me? And then her answer, which was the most crushing of, I'll never forget it. She said, I'm really not sure. And it was in English. It wasn't even in French because she was English. And I was like, wow, okay. So I was like, I think we need a serious discussion. I'll drive up tonight. It was really late. I was like, fuck it, I'll drive up. It's like an hour and a half drive. I'll do it. I don't care. She was like, no, don't, this is over. Obviously this was in her mind. She just did not have the heart to just fucking tell me, to explain it to me, because she like deep down she was a nice chick. But anyways, furthermore, so I was like, all right, so end up crying. And here's one thing about me: I don't get along with I get along with my parents. It's great and I love them, but at that time I did not get so great like along with my mother. Like we were having these like issues and it was just kind of hard to just like, I don't know, just get along basically, and that was pretty difficult. But I hung up the phone after she broke up with me, and I ran upstairs. My mom was watching TV on her bed. My dad was snoring his ass off, doing what he usually does, and I just cried and cried and cried in my mother's arms. And I was, how old was I? I think I was like 18 years old, and I'm never the guy to show emotion. I don't care. Nothing bothers me, but that tainted my life. Like the fact that she did that, because I found out later, like 2 weeks later, she was redating her ex, this Brian dude, this fucker, this guy who was there all along, just as a friend, ready to bone this fucking bitch the second that chick broke up with me. That's why I don't like guys around my chicks. But that was just the way it rolled, and I cried in my mother's arms for like, I don't know, 15 minutes, and then I never had a moment like that ever again with my mother. But that just tainted the way I see girls and ladies and just relationships in general. God, this got me a little emotional. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want tomorrow's How I Lost Weight story, show some love on today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed MrITryHard. I should say penis in this video because I wasn't really nasty. Hope you guys enjoyed MrITryHard. Bye, and penis!